The 11th Heidelberg Laureate Forum has gotten off to a great start with lots of things happening, like the speed networking behind us.
Now, with people from over 50 countries attending this year's HLF, one thing we sadly all have in common is that we have to face the threat of climate change. Understanding the climate crisis is one of this year's hot topics. We'll be speaking to panelists about how mathematics and computer science can help.
And we'll be delving into some pure mathematics with Fields Medallist Efim Zelmanov and talking to young researchers and alumni about how they're enjoying the HLF.
Now, one of the hot topics this year is the climate crisis. How does climate change impact your country?
Very much, especially in the area that I'm living in. I'm living near the ocean. I mean, the weather changes almost every minute, and it's hard to sometimes get certain things done.
I can definitely feel that everywhere is getting hotter and hotter. In Beijing, in Seattle, where I live currently, they're both getting very hot. Climate change is real. It's happening.
We've just come back from the first Hot Topic session, and we have the moderator of that session, Maybritt Schillinger, here from ETH Zurich. Maybritt, in this session you were discussing how mathematics and computer science can help us understand the climate crisis. What sort of challenges can those subjects help address?
Yeah, I think there are a lot, and we saw this in the panel discussion. So one thing that was mentioned in the panel was the problem of observational gaps, or in general also the short observational record. We don't have that much observation data. Another one is that the global climate models, currently, they are based on physical laws and physical equations, and they run quite slowly and take a lot of computation time. And there are efforts to either speed up these models with mathematical tools or replace part of these models with AI tools and other statistical tools so that we can get faster predictions of the climate, for example.
And I thought it was an interesting thing that arose in the discussion that there perhaps should be more interaction between researchers and the people who use the research, or indeed between researchers and all of us who are affected by the research. What do you think about that interaction?
Yeah, I like this point as well. It was also, I think, inspiring and thought-provoking for me to hear this, because also I think this is very important and this is done too little. I mean, I've seen this a few times. ETH is currently, we have a big project called Speed to Zero. It's about finding strategies how to decarbonize Switzerland and to have like a sustainable future for Switzerland. And they are trying to do this. So they're bringing in stakeholders like politicians and people from all different backgrounds and trying to talk to the researchers. And really the goal is in this project to develop products that then can be used outside of the research world. And I think this is very novel and very important. And as far as I can judge from my perspective on the project, also very challenging and difficult.
Several of the speakers on the panel, including you yourself, have moved between the areas of maths and physics and computer science and even social science. Is sort of this interdisciplinary nature, is that key to progress in climate science?
Yeah, I would say so. I think certainly a curiosity for problems and methods from different fields certainly helps. And I think this was also part of my motivation to do this panel, to show people how cool this can be. And yeah, I would say so. I think most climate scientists that I know, at least, they kind of have problems and methods from different disciplines and try to put them together.
So Martina and Sarah, you look after the young researchers every year, making sure they get here safely from all around the world. What's it like to finally meet them today?
It's the highlight of the year, bringing a year of work together and meeting them all here for this week and finally meeting real people that have been little pictures in our system for the whole year. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's such a nice feeling.
And apart from looking after the young researchers before they get here, you also help them stay in touch after the HLF. And actually there's some here this year, aren't there?
Yeah, there's 20 alumni that we invited to come back to us, and we kind of want them to be here as an intermediary between the guests and the young researchers and the laureates to kind of connect with everybody and help to smooth starting conversations and support us with the program.
I think last year what I enjoyed was the intercultural science art project. That was probably my favorite thing last year of the HLF, and I enjoyed participating, and this is why I'm back this time to help with the organization.
And have you had a chance to engage with Alumnode and activities for alumni?
So I actually applied to something that was published in the Alumnode like yesterday. So I'm excited to see how that turns out.
So how did taking part in the HLF impact on your career?
HLF motivated me to choose different career paths in my life, including academia, industry, and national lab. It's really motivated me to do different things, different things in my life.
I think it exposed me to a lot of great ideas, and it reinforced me to be bold and ambitious.
I feel like it made me feel like I belong in a way that maybe I didn't feel before, and I think like it's sort of a subtle thing, but I think it makes a real difference.
I'm very pleased to be here with Efim Zelmanov, one of the laureates who won a Fields Medal back in 1994. Efim, in your lightning talk today, you mentioned a result from pure mathematics called the classification of finite simple groups, which very loosely speaking is about understanding some of the building blocks of algebra. That was a truly enormous theorem. Can you give us a bit of a sense of the scale of the effort?
This is the biggest single project in mathematics ever. It started with the works of Évariste Galois at the beginning of the 19th century, and the last publication was in 2011. The idea of the theorem is, every object has symmetries. The subject that studies symmetries is group theory. So this theorem, in a way, captures all types of symmetries that exist in the world. It is amazing. And the full proof takes maybe 10,000 pages.
So the classification is complete, the theorem has been proven, but in your lightning talk you mentioned it as a challenge for the future of algebra.
Yes, it is also unprecedented that I mention the problem that has been solved as a challenge for the future. In a way, this is a problem of a type that every new generation has to revisit it. For mathematicians, it's not enough to know that something is true or not true. Now there is a consensus that the proof has been achieved. When this generation goes, I am afraid that there won't be people who understand it. And then it will be a theorem that for some reason is true. We need new ideas, we need new people to come into the subject.
So what would your advice be for any young algebraists out there?
Well, to be aware of the problem and to look at every opportunity to revisit it with new ideas. The subject is in need of new approaches and new ideas. The old approaches and all ideas were amazingly successful. It resulted in the proof. But now we need new ideas.
So you've just done the speed networking. How was that experience?
Oh, it was wonderful. So I think it was really interesting meeting so many young researchers and hearing all of their stories. So yeah, how they had their academic careers, what they're working on. I think it's really inspiring.
It was awesome. I could meet a lot of people coming from different horizons, both geographically, both from their research topics. So it was really amazing, but at the same time, also a bit exhausting.
It's interesting that by luck I ran all the time with computer scientists. It's not my field, I'm a mathematician, so I'm interested to hear what they have to say, something that is not directly related to what I do. It's very interesting to have that chance.
And you've had practice at giving short versions of your research work. Can you tell me about it in a few sentences?
I can try. So I'm a computer scientist working in software engineering, and my interest lies in software testing, so finding bugs in software in an automated way.
So I'm working on studying human behavior in mobile networks, so understanding traffic patterns of users, their mobility behavior, and how this can help better designing the network to address the user needs.
I did my PhD in human-computer interaction, and I'm now a research scientist at Sony AI, focused on AI ethics, particularly data set ethics, so how to responsibly collect and use data for machine learning.
I work on partial differential equations. I focus mainly on the abstract aspect. We take models that come from physics and we try to abstract it to be able to say something about the mathematical object itself and try to get information without having to solve the equations. And that gives us a very broad perspective.
It's been another busy day at the Heidelberg Laureate Forum, and we are now at the Speyer Museum of Technology for dinner, drinks and even a science slam.
In the next vlog, we talk to child psychologist Brigitte Roda about the hot topic discussion, the paradox of AI, and we meet one of the pioneers of machine learning, laureate Leslie Valiant.
We'll also be admiring some mathematical art with Moira Chas. See you then!